What's up, guys? Wanted to do this late video for everyone to kind of just go over what's going on tonight and what are we looking for tomorrow morning. But as always, we start with the 12-hour. Nothing going on there. We're still below the SMA as well as the super trend. So we're in a downwards trend long term. So let's zoom into 4 hours, see if there's anything changed there. Yeah, there's a lot of more writing on a lot of lines, but you'll see why these lines are there as we move slower. Just trying to pretty much looking at the different channels in which we're trading within and what we need to do to stay within those channels. But as you could see since yesterday, we had this massive rally up, and ever since then we've managed to stay above that kind of like a little bit of a support area in which we created. We tested that a couple of times and we're moving up away from it. So right now I love to see green candles under 4 hours. That means things are looking great under 1 hour and the 30 minutes. So let's jump to the 1 hour to see how things are looking. All right, so in the 1 hour, this is we've had several conversations today with the team, the Telegram community, and just really looking at what's going on and creating the channel to show everyone how price is moving, right? So we had this massive run up, and we created this channel right here, which we stayed above until sometimes today we kind of broke through it to test the SMA line. And so we were talking about the need to show this as a support and continue on with the channel. And so I left the channel lines on just to see price as price moves through it. We knew at this point in this triangle here that price was going to be forced to make a direction up or down. It's interesting how you kind of would have seen like a little bit of a fake out, like it was going down, it only came back up. So it stayed within the channel, and now it's looking to move ahead of this resistance line that was resistance, but now once it closes above this, we look for it to kind of test it as a support and continue on up. So what I would love to see happen is that we get back to the upper band of this channel and trade and really make a run for the top band, pull back, rest on this. But if we stick between this channel, just tells me that we lost a little bit of a momentum from back here, but I'd love to gain that back. After this little bit of a breather, we continue to rise up and ride that channel. And so I think if we're able to do that, I love being on this side of the channel because it tells us we have a lot of momentum, and we really need a lot of momentum as we go into this resistance. This resistance point, when you look at the 4 hours, that's what we need to overcome to change the 4 hour trend. So let's look at the 4 hours. This right here, let me move this down. We need to close above that, somewhere around here. Let me make sure I mark that so we could see it on the other chart. We need to close somewhere around here where we pull above the SMA line and the super trend, and then pull back, test that area of support, and then make our way up. So that's what I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see this run right up. This is the channel, run right up, get to the top part of this, come back to test this, and then the support, and then take off. So that's what we're going to be looking for. That's what I want to see overnight. I want to see this continue to grind up until we get to this point. Now, a couple of things that we need to prepare ourselves for. That much of a run, a lot of times what you'll see is you'll see a pullback to then try to take it off again. Because if you look at this, let me just show you guys something real quick. When you look at this run and how much it is, right, you normally see a run. This would be, if it gets up here, that would be about a 23% run up from the lows that it was at to up here. So you could see a little bit of a pullback when you have that fast of a run up. And so you would tend to kind of see a run to these resistance area, a pullback, and then a try forward. That is what I'm expecting to see. Now, I also love the fact that if we had a lot of buying that just broke through this and then came back to test it, I'll take that too. But given what's been going on with the slow grind and over the weekend, if it gets here, then we may look for a little bit of a rollover, and then maybe to me, once you see that, that may be a last opportunity to kind of get in before it takes off. But that's something that we need to watch in regards to what we want to do. But what I really like about this chart right here is that we are up above the 9-period SMA. The 9-period SMA, we are above that. And so as long as we stay above this SMA and we trend up, then that's a great sign that the momentum is shifting up in the 4-hour time slot. So we want to see that, and we want to see it just drive up and close above the 21 period SMA. So that's what I'm looking for. But what we look for in the lower time frame is for signs that that is happening. And so when you see price retreat to a certain point, you wanna look to see that consistency and confirmation, right? It was on the 21 period SMA. It was well above the 9 period SMA. It tested that. Like, this was your first chance, right? So if you would have missed this run up, you would have looked for a pullback to the SMA line. The first pullback is always, if I missed this, I wouldn't chase it up, but this is the first chance that I would say, you know what, let me take a little nibble. Let me, instead of going full, let me take a small percentage to test the waters out. And then, so in the first one, let's say it was, if I had 10 BNBs that I was going to invest, maybe the first one I'll take one. I'll take one of the 10 I'll buy here. And then on the second one, maybe I'll take half. And on the third one, I need to decide what I want to do, because now it's tested this, it's come and hit this area at least 3 times. And so once you hit 3, it gets to be a little bit weak. And this is why this is crucial here, is because it's been here so much, it needs to really bounce back and really make a run for it, or else you run the risk of it rolling over and coming to test this support area right here. So that's the other. We always like to talk about the uptrend, but we also have to be careful and understand that there is a possibility that we could go lower and test this support. And if we test this support, what that tells me is that we've just confirmed that there is selling pressure. Now we get to see how much selling pressure, right? So this is typical normal selling pressure, come back to a support. It's really people buying, taking a break, could drive back, and then they get back to buying. But right now, if the sellers start to kind of come in and push the price down, which, by the way, I keep telling you guys this, I do not see any reason why anyone should sell, given everything that we have pending in regards to the exchanges coming and everything else. So to me, this channel needs to continue on. It should continue on with all the bullish momentum that we have in regards to the exchanges that are coming. So to me, I'm surprised if I see any major selling pressure given the pending news. So again, with that said, I do see it going up, but let's protect ourselves. That's why we nibble at these points and we wait for confirmation. But let's put it in perspective, though. This is below a buy zone. So whatever scaling strategy you have when you're in your buy zone, I would say you use that, because the one thing that I would say for me is I want to make sure that I get all the positions that I want to before it gets out of my buy zone, because as it's creeping up on my buy zone, it's getting more and more expensive to get the quantities in which I want. And so at the previous videos, I was telling you guys that I purchased down here, it went up, and it came back, and I purchased down here, somewhere around here. Well, when I purchased down here, I think I received around 27 billion for one BNB, and by the time it came up here on the second time, because I missed the bottom here, by the time it came up here, it was 24 billion, whereas I could have maximized and received at least 27 30 billion for that one BNB. So I missed out on the opportunity. But now, as the price goes higher, that one BNB is not going to bring me the 27 billion anymore. And so I have to constantly think about that as well too, how to split my risk and rewards to be able to say, here at this point, I could take a little bit more of a risk, because it barely moved up. And so as it goes here, now I need to think about it, right? How do I scale in? And so you need to think about that. For me, I'm okay with scaling in. Only reason I'm okay with scaling in is because I'm below I'm in my buy zone. And the other thing you have to understand is you have to understand what your average purchase price is, so that you could, if your average unit price is way up here, you're only doing yourself good by buying down here. And so you're helping your overall average, right? So it doesn't make any sense for you to say my average is all the way up here, that's where I got in, but I'm scared to buy down here. All they could do is help you. And in terms of what I mean by help you is it allows you to become profitable sooner, right? So I'll give you an example. If you bought up here, what is that, 25.11? If you bought at 25.11 and now you're in 12, and you wait for it to come back up, well, you're going to be profitable somewhere here. Whereas if you leverage your buying opportunities down here, you may go from 25 to 23, depending on how much you put in, to lower your average. And what that means is, as soon as the market comes back around and it gets to that point, you're profitable, as opposed to waiting for it to go all the way up. And that's why for me, I've been dollar cost averaging down and looking for those low opportunities to add to my position. So now so I've lowered my average to this particular point right here, so that now when it goes above 15, I'm profitable. So I just need to manage from a below my price point to kind of make sure that when the market goes above that, I am in a great position. And that's why it's great to establish your buy zone. Your buy zone tells you where you're going shopping and where the discounts really help you. And so you know, as you go above your buy zone, you're profitable, right? Because you would have purchased everything down here. So as it makes its way back up, you get up here, you're sitting pretty and watching things and picking critical points for you to either reinvest or add some more to your area. So I wanted to kind of get through that. Again, I'm not giving you guys financial advice, but I'm just letting you see what I'm doing so you guys could kind of understand my strategy and my approach, and then modify yours if you want to kind of participate in what I'm doing. So overall, it's been a good ride down. We took some here, we took a couple here, and then now we're right back to where we took some over here. So to me, is this a good buying opportunity? Well, I bought in over here, so why wouldn't it not be a good buying opportunity? Because it's the same condition that I saw here that I'm seeing here. So yeah. Just remember, as it's going down, the decisions you're making, as it's going down, the decisions you're making, and as it comes back up, remember why you got in and see whether or not you still want to do that again to kind of capitalize on the move up. So overall, I like where we are. I like the fact that we're staying within the channel. We are all lower than I want to be. I'd rather us sit up here. So if we get the bind to come back and we start riding this, we stand a good shot of breaking through this resistance. But if we chug up here, then I would say the bind is a little weak and we run the risk of rolling over. So let's keep an eye out this overnight to see if we could make it above this threshold so that we could break through this resistance. The day we break over this is a great day, because we would then change the trend on the 4 hours. We look for a pullback to test it. And once we get that confirmation that this is support, then I'll be very excited to see that journey up. Actually, I think that area is over here. Let me make sure that that's the right area. Yeah, we need to get all the way up here. So this area right here, the first one, let's go back on the 4 hour to see what that 4 hour one is. I apologize that this video is a little bit longer, but I figured I wanted to really use this time to really go over the chart and give you guys some ideas of what I'm seeing and things that we need to look out for. Nope, so I was right. It's the first one that we need to look out for. That's the one that's going to break the trend here, and that's at 1320. Let's get up to 1340 or 1350, pull back and test it, and then take off to the next one, 15. This is my buy zone. That was my buy zone area. So once we leave the buy zone, my strategy is going to shift, and I'll talk more about that with you guys once we leave the buy zone. But for now, look for all the great buying opportunities down here, so that when we do get out of it, you've increased your position well enough to capitalize, especially as we talk about exchange. if again, the fact that we're going to exchange, use this opportunity to kind of make sure your bag is in the right position. So when you do leave and the exchanges come, that you're not regretting that you missed the opportunity. Again, not giving financial advice, just talking through what I'm thinking about. All right. So with that, I'd like to say thank you guys for watching, and please leave a comment, leave any feedback in regards to what you'd like to see more, and we'd be more than happy to make sure we bring that to you guys. So thank you for watching.